Meanwhile, the whole week leading up to the first missile that was launched out of Israel into Gaza, people are in Harvard saying, F the Israel and saying from the river to the sea, which is now illegal to say. But for about that became illegal in January. In October, we kept saying, hey, guys, from the river to the sea means the destruction of Israel and 2 Muslim people and 2 Gazans and 2 Palestinians and a big group of jihadists. It means the death of all Jews in Israel and taking it over by the Palestinians. You saying from the river to the sea may sound like a nursery rhyme and it may sound like a cool chant, but it is extremely anti-Semitic. And you're basically saying to all your Jewish friends is that I'm supporting you being.
You do realize we had elected representatives, we had politicians, we had public officials, whatever you want to call them. We had people saying that in front of cameras.
Yeah, no, everyone was saying it. Same with Intifada. And then all of a sudden, the stuff started erupting on these college campuses where they're like, uh-oh, we're going to tell them they can't do that anymore. They're still doing it. Here, let me show you. This is fun. So you didn't see yesterday.
Nope, not a bit.
Cool. Well, this is what happened in New York, but this is happening all over the country. But this is what we got to wake up to in New York. You see? Philadelphia. Here, let me shut this off. There's a bunch of videos I'm going to flip through. Outside of City Hall in Philadelphia, they set aside dozens of U.S. flags on fire. So this has gone from Israel to the USA pretty quickly, right? Because we're in July. But these U.S. flags have been burning since November, JR. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it hasn't been happening. This is all very systematic. And so on July 4th, they did this outside of there. NYC attacking Americans in as they chant death to America. That makes sense. Here's this is Washington Square Park. This is Washington Square Park. This is actually one of my favorite places in New York City. This is right by NYU, coincidentally. And it was such a beautiful place. And now this is what that beautiful area of New York looks like. Oh, look at this one. On the streets, they're cheering because they're all just like, oh, look at the sparks, look at the fire in the sky. Meanwhile, they're braving flags and basically saying death to America at the same time as celebrating America's independence. Oh, look at this one. More from Washington Square Park. So, oh, look at this fun guy. They incorporate like rap music and hip hop and black culture. This is Washington Square Park. I'll show you. I think, do you know that video I sent you? The video of a cappella soul. They're singing in the jungle. The lion sleeps tonight. Remember that video I sent you? It's got some views. That's right there. That was filmed right there. And this is what these animals turn a beautiful park filled with soul. Look at the kid did you see the kid on his dad's shoulders? These aren't Middle Eastern jihadi warriors. Look at their faces. They are all students. There's even a Jewish guy with a beard. That's what
I was going to say to you. I mean, when you've got all these campuses teaching the young people who are still impressionable how wrong this country is and how evil the U.S. is, of course they're going to do this. Look how young every video you just showed, look how young they all are. You're not.
That's Washington.
These are people that have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how this could turn out for them. What's so funny? I mean, I love the, gays for Palestine. I don't know if people are smart enough to understand how this can end for them.
I can't so that's what I hope people are seeing, but they're not seeing it, JR, just because you were logged off of your socials and all of that as very smart. My friend Adam does that as well. Friday, he checks out, spends time with his family, does this, he coaches his kids stuff, and he spends time in nature. That's a big thing for him. People aren't seeing it because they're too busy in their own algorithms. And this is why my show is called Fix Your Algorithm. I am seeing a different viewpoint of the world than you're seeing. You are seeing a different viewpoint of the world than your co-host on your show, Anthony Correo, is seeing. Everyone is seeing an algorithm based off of them, their interests, what the algorithm knows you're likely to click on, because every click you do, it's a little money goes into this pot and this part. And before you know it, those pennies add up to millions for people who are way smarter than we ever were 10 years ago, because they figured that out. We are seeing different things. And while that scares the shit out of me, and you're just seeing it for the first time, and you're probably pretty disgusted by that, I've been seeing this since October. I've been seeing worse. I've been seeing, and then I'm reading comments of these really awful Nazi ideology. I mean, the people praising Hitler, he should have finished the job. And I'm reading it. So as a Jewish person, those first couple of weeks, I'm watching this unfold. And then slowly, like you said, it got worse and worse and worse. I had to detach at a certain point, because I was at a point where I did not want to leave my house. I didn't go into Manhattan. I lived 20 minutes up the road from Manhattan. I did not go into Manhattan until last month, a month and a half ago. I live in a town called Nutley. I learned this the other day. It's the third international city of peace in the world. Some kind of BS that they did, but there's all these monuments in the parks that made me feel good. They have fireworks down at the high school. We have friends that live by us that were barbecuing, and we hung out in the pool because it was a hot day. And we walked, and we had sparklers, and we walked down and we watched fireworks, and there was no bullshit. You know, we keep that stuff out of our neighborhood. I'm friends now with the police commissioner, who I became friends with in October, just because I had a worry. I said, if this stuff spills over from the city that's 20 miles down, you know, what happens? He said, you know your county line and know your property line. I got to know the police force. I know that when the shit hits the fan, if I have that guy on my phone, I'm in better place than the people that are just trying to ignore it and say that, oh, nothing can happen. Bullshit. It could happen. And you never know what kind of underground things are brewing right now in the algorithms of these kids and these people that are caught up in this. Let's put it, they're terrorist movements. It's jihadi. It is extremists that have been around for my entire life. So seeing that is ridiculous. I mean, look, you know, when you go and look at some of these other videos, I see this all the time. That was nothing what I just showed you. You know, this is in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's letting this happen in there. From the river to the sea is a float. 4th of July parade celebrating America's independence outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. So it's the suburbs of Cincinnati. And with kids running, and there's from the same slogan I've been telling you that is illegal. How is the city of Cincinnati or whatever, you know, these things where these things are popping up, and why are they allowed to happen? We have to fight now as Jewish people. We have to fight to tell you why things are anti-Semitic. I have to tell you why a swastika is anti-Semitic now. I have to tell you why attacking someone or not letting them walk through a campus, a guy with a yarmulke, I have to now explain to people why that's anti-Semitic, because they're trying to tell me that, oh, they're overreacting. This is about Israel. This isn't about Jews. No, it's 100% about Jews for a lot of these people. And because you had deep-seated Jew hatred, it was easy for that to unlock in your head. So I don't want to go into this as much, because we're going to be going into more details. And luckily, I'm interviewing people that are going to be able to say the things for me. I think it's time for a break. Hopefully these kids will figure it out. Hopefully we'll be able to get back on track with our education system. I'm not optimistic, but I sure as hell gonna try. Fix your algorithm. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.